Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Guile treatment. Any rumors you may have heard of my demise were very overblown.
We're thinking about replacing
over...
you with Church. So,
What?
Church has been trying to vie for that co-host spot for a while, so...
I'm sure he did a good job.
No, he did fine. He did fine.
I guess like everyone probably had their pre-releases. So, people kind of know what the cards do, but we figured we had already started a bunch of the sort of review of cards, so we'd run through some of the rares as well. Just for people who you may not be like as plugged in, or even just people who didn't have any sort of releases. I mean, I know I didn't. I don't think I will. The store in Virginia where we went previously had their release at about like 10 o'clock at night, which meant, well, yeah, I mean, that's fine if you're like local. You can stay until like 1 or 2 and then just go home. But, when it's a 4-hour drive, like, I'm not trying to get back at like 6 a.m.
No. That's a horrible turnaround. That is just bad.
But, yeah. I guess should we just kick it off with I guess we'll go alphabetically.
Yeah, it's start with Kuma. Kongu Koku Retsuzan. I think it's how you pronounce it.
I think it was pretty good.
Pretty close, I think. Just wait till the ultra rare show. We'll have you pronounce his ultra rare. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one shouldn't be too bad. But
I'll practice.
I got murdered by this card. Trent made a Akuma deck, and we just tossed around a bit at Corey's house in Collinsville, the PTC this past weekend, and wow, that card can hit people very, very hard. And like we said, right as we started the show, you said that you noticed that it was a reversal. I didn't even know it was a reversal. I didn't even read that keyword, and I'm just like, holy shit, because like you were saying, you have a couple blocks, you just flip them to minus checks, and then you just block reverse, and then you have a card to flip.
Yeah, I mean, here's a good one for you.
Yeah.
So if your opponent, like, imagine that, your opponent does something. So you block, and they play another card, and you flip the block to give the check like minus something.
Yep.
Then you use the Gyro Man. What's the Gyro Man thing? It's like +2 or -2 speed.
Oh, admission fees.
Yeah. So then you can, like, admission fees to give it -2 speed. So now you're just blocking on, whatever basically, like, whatever the speed is. So, like, you block. Then you can, like, play this as a reversal. It's going to be on, like, a 6 because the 2 face downs won't count. You can admission fees again to give it 2 more speed.
Yep.
Then you can Akuma to, I guess, give it, like, +4 damage and, like, stun 1, because you'll now have, like, 4 face downs.
Yep.
And then you do the E to discard for the powerful, and you're going to have 4 face downs, like, barring, like, any other ways to get more in.
Yeah.
And so that's another, like, 8 damage on top of it. So it's, 7 speed and, like, 14 damage, 16 damage, something like that.
And you have a face-up to be able to flip if they block you. So
And so if they try to block, then you get like to hack their block check. Yeah. It's all right.
It's pretty good. Just a little. It's a little bit. That would hurt. And it has a nice 0 low block, by the way. So
I gotta say the biggest thing about this, like, I don't remember like who I sort of like told, but I know when the Street Fighter stuff was coming out, I was very hopeful that Sagat's Ultra Rare, which I guess what was it, like Tiger Destruction, yeah. I was like really, really hoping that you would be able to discard face downs to pay for powerful.
Yeah.
I think back in Tides, there was a card like that for Zoe. Zoe's like Neo Cosmic Flare.
Yeah, Cosmic Flare, yeah.
Which was Zoe only. But, I was really hoping that like Sagat would sort of have something like that, and he didn't, but we have it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess Sagat can use this too. Just obviously for order.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's really going to do the face down stuff better than Akuma.
No, I don't think so either. He's just much more efficient at it.
That's just nice. I mean, it's, obviously it has the static to ignore face downs.
Yep.
So it's like all his other cards where you can always play it on basically a 6. And then it also can then clear out your pool. So if you have some foundations you want to play like afterwards, like it doesn't mess up like all your progressive.
True.
Although
even
I don't know,
if you're blocking as a reversal, this will clear your pool too.
I imagine Akuma is not someone who kind of like, you know, plays 2 or 3 attacks and then builds. I feel like he just kind of does what he wants to do, and then when he attacks you, you die.
Yeah. So. Yeah. The one thing that I noticed against Trent is that I guess you're playing everything on a 5, 6, 7, unless you're flipping your attack to abort it when they block, which it doesn't do anything, but unless you want to get cards out of their hands, because then you just drop Kongu at the end and then you just clear out everything and they have no hand, so they die. But I just see that all of his attacks are 5 diffs, so maybe that's just the way that he just doesn't run rampant on, oh, look at me, I'm playing this on 5, then on a 5, then on a 4, or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, I guess it'll mostly be like 6s, unless you're like not blocking.
True.
And that means that he like can flip them. But
all right, but yeah, that attack's pretty good. All around, very good. Moving on to his foundation, the Power to Connect Realms. It's a 3/6. So I'm gonna have it in the middle so you guys will see it. Again, it has the static at like his attacks. So if you try to block with it, face downs don't matter. Yeah, you can. As you were talking about with Kongu about adding more cards to your card pool, face down, face up, or whatever. This is another one. It adds itself. It removes itself to discard a card from your opponent's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the remove is probably something that like you can use on other stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the card, I guess, that's the ability that I feel like you can use in just about anybody as long as you're playing some powerful stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know how much this get played. I feel like part of it was, again, having like the attack static of ignoring face downs, so it was just like a little bit more anti-Liu Kang tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing of like adding it to your card pool, I don't think there's really anybody that wants to do that.
Like
I mean, it doesn't share symbols with it doesn't share symbols with whatever her name is, Cassie.
Cassie, yeah, it does.
So like it doesn't really help her out. I mean, I guess in like a world where people are playing Gyro Man, like maybe he wants to turn on some more of his stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. Maybe
that's
Gyro Man, but yeah, that's not very good.
So yeah, it's really just like Akuma, and like that's the thing is I feel like you're better off playing something like admission fees or something. So.
Yep. No, I agree. Moving on, Chun-Li. So, do you got anything else there? Cool.
No.
All right, your turn. You can pronounce the kick.
Oh, okay.
Have fun with this one.
Hoyokusen.
Oh, god damn it! It was so easy for you.
So yeah, she doesn't have an ultra rare attack, so it was just sort of this.
She does. It's on Morgan's page.
Okay, sure it is. Yeah, I guess 4 diff 2 check. Multiple. I guess you with the combo you can increase the multiple rating.
Yep.
By discarding momentum. So I guess you basically are going to need to have like 3 momentum if you really want to use this. You have to discard 1, and then you'll need to have 2 more for the multiple.
Yeah.
But it has an E to discard a card and add a face down, so it kind of gives you like a second Chun-Li activation.
Yep.
And I mean that's not bad. Turning like one resource into another. I guess it would be kind of nice if this had something that would give the multiple copies like one of her keywords to
so she
like
can get
pump the speed
on it. Yeah.
But it's not a big deal. I mean, this is pretty good. I mean, 4 diff,
12 damage,
up to 18 damage.
18, yeah.
You can't really be mad about those numbers.
No, you can't. I played her in a draft, and yeah, she doesn't even need that. Just like you just launch giant attacks at people, like 8th year leg. You could play like Big Cyclone in her, and that becomes a 7 mid for 10, and on a 7 diff. But
I mean, it's almost an 8 diff if you need to commit something to give it speed.
Exactly. But yeah, she's cool, man. Like the being able to turn like a committed resource into a momentum, or you flip it with one of her other cards, but yeah, that I didn't get to play with the attack though, that the rare attack. So it's a 6 mid 6. Well, like you said, 18 damage is pretty darn good.
Yep.
For a 2-check, it's kind of like, it almost reminds me of what's the one from Blood Omen, the 1-check. It has the angels on it. A crit split. Crit split. Yeah, it reminds me of like a crit split in a way. But
I guess. I mean, this is way easier to satisfy.
Well, yes.
I guess. I mean, I'm not too familiar with like Fury.
Yeah. Well, all of her support has Fury, and
I'm sure all of hers does, but I think it's fairly split. Other than that, I mean, I guess this is another Fury card that doesn't share any symbols with Sasha, so that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I know that people were looking for it because, I don't know, maybe in her it's going to be worth playing, or I don't know, outside of her.
I mean, here's the thing. For all the, kind of the tough time that Ken's, like, Violent Tatsu got.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this basically the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a 4-diff instead of a 6-diff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, you have to go through a little bit more hoops to give it multiple 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, it's the same amount of damage. It's a little bit faster. Like, same zone. If you can go through the hoops, it's the same multiple rating.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is just having this, if you have a little bit of momentum, your opponent basically has to respect it. Because if they sell out, like, blocking, like, some of your other attacks and you just drop this on them, like, that's 18 damage.
Yeah, I wish you can give them multiples. Man, that sucks. You can't bring the multiples down with their ability. Or is there...
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No, but it's just, Metal Man used to be able to do it, but, she can't. But yeah, so moving on to the Forbidden Technique. When you play, you get to ready one of your face downs because you're going to be committing a lot of cards with her ability. So that's always good, especially if you're doing it defensively, because it also works on blocking.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the big thing is that it readies when you block with it.
Yeah. And then it basically gives you a free build that, it's in the same vein as like Aether Leg, and I think that's the only other one that gives her free build, other than her character. So,
yeah. I mean, this is interesting. I feel like she generates a ton of face downs, but I don't know that she really like has that much to use them. You know what I mean? Other than her character effect, which is like a once per turn.
I was looking up and I was just like, damn, why does Warrior Descendant not check the top card of your discard pile after you destroy it? Kind of like DeForester did, instead of, because you're destroying face downs for nothing, but I've been trying to find ways to destroy these face downs with her, so I'm not, in deadlock perpetually. So.
I mean, honestly, I think that this is just something like this is another card that you could like look at for that that just all in pulse flare deck that that everyone wants to make.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's too bad Cutman's gone because Cutman would love this card too.
That's true. Yeah, this would be pretty good for him.
Yeah. We talk about that in the show whenever you watch it. So we pour one out for your boy too, by the way. So.
I love those characters, like pretty much all of them.
I know you do. I know. So moving on to Unlikely Allies. I take it this show is going to be pretty quick because we're going to be running through these. There's so many of them. Unlikely Allies. This is the card that she really needs because she put tons of speed on stuff, but she lacks damage, especially on the good symbol. She lacks damage. Outside of attacks, I should say, because like there's Astral Vision and some other things that she could pump damage onto. But this is one of the few ways she can actually get damage, and it's only +1 damage, which is kind of shitty in the long run. But off of Earth, I don't know, man. Off of Earth, she gets her stuff from version 1, but off of Good, it's very, very lackluster and very She doesn't remove attacks like
honestly,
Jet. So
I think that E is just gravy. I think you run it for the R.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Like stops reversals, stops like Princess Perry, stops Breaker, stops. There's R's like when you play. Any of the Raptor stuff, like all the stuff where it's like R. After you play this, do whatever.
Yeah.
That's the big ability, I think.
Mm.
And then the E, again, is just kind of gravy.
Sure.
It's kind of, I mean, it's a combination of the Sagat one diff.
Oh, and the Sasha one?
The Sasha, I think also a one diff that gives like +1 speed to your Fury. Obviously, this speed is not gated by anything, it just gives it to you.
Yep.
But right, +1 speed, and then if it's Fury, it also gets like +1 damage.
Yep.
And that, I mean, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you know, at least it does something while you're like if you don't have anything to cancel. So.
True. Yep. Moving on to Guile. He has no rare attack because he has 2 ultra rares. So I guess Mortal Resurrection's the first card we're going to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of talked about this before the show.
Yeah.
It's a 2/4 +4 block, +4 high block. So often chances are you're never going to actually have this in your hand to block with. So you're going to be drawing that extra card. So hopefully you don't draw another one, because I could see maybe playing a couple of these just because it's defensive draw, which is nice. And then it also stops an ability that stops one of your enhances or responses. So kind of like the Chun-Li card, the R Destroy draw card's kind of like the extra topping on the better ability, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that I don't know if you run multiples of this, but yeah, I mean the cancel, basically like the cancel. Yeah. That's fine. You know,
we saw in Collinsville. People, they were someone out of your league and out of your league. So that that's starting to become more prevalent now. Is that third level of cancellation is from that Joffus that Shane was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. I guess on 2 of these symbols, you kind of have to weigh this against the Gabrick card that just got reprinted.
Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't stop it. That just...
No, it doesn't stop it, but you tap 2.
You tap 2.
Of your choice, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. it's just kind of one of those things, like, you probably still run this, but I feel like it's less important.
Sure.
Right, this is something that you sort of, like, hold for the really, really important thing.
Almost like a sideboard card in a way, because it's not every deck runs... not every symbol has like a response or enhance cancel. So you could almost like side this card and just for certain matchups.
Yeah. I mean, this card's okay. It's a lot of 2/4 bad block.
Yeah. That was one thing that, just a side note, Shane was, instead of putting no blocks on things, they were like, well, we'll just put bad blocks on them instead.
Now you have Elena, so she wants some bad blocks.
Yep. True.
Yeah, this gives 0 speed for
Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah, 0 speed. Yep. I wouldn't even play it in her. Yep. Nope. Minimum 2 speed at best if I'm playing anything in her.
So, Prophetic Fulfillment.
I
mean, we talked about this a lot, I think, on the Ultra Rare show.
Yeah.
For the second E, which is just like the commit, if it has 1 or fewer keywords, +2/+2 and doesn't count progressive. Like, that's great.
Yeah, that's why you play the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I used to get a lot of use out of Kyokugen Disciple.
Oh, yeah.
Which was was just a commit for 2 speed, and then if you had less foundations than your opponent, it got 2 damage.
Yep.
So this is like a little more hoop to jump through. I mean, obviously it didn't make it not kind of progressive.
Yeah.
Someone that can use this pretty well is probably like Bishiman. Because he can strip all of the non-weapon keywords off of his attacks.
Yep.
So, like, as long as it's not, like, a ranged weapon or, like, I don't know, like a weapon kick or
something like that.
Whatever they've got going on.
Yeah, 2 descriptive keywords, yeah.
Right, it's like he can just take off all that stuff and then, for damage and then give it more stats and not have it count to progressive.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And the E's fine. Change it to mid.
Yep. That's a remove cost? Oh, that's poopy.
I mean, that's the same as the rescue mission, but it's a 2 diff with a block.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't set it to 1 speed, but it's fine. I mean, 2 symbols with Templar. Templar's getting run more anyway because there's a lot of really good mid attacks.
Yeah, there's tons of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this card's fine. Like, it rates. It'll be in decks.
And the picture's really creepy. It's all about the murder baby. That was the rage this past weekend, was all the murder baby. Everybody wanted murder baby. Or as I call him, Dexter now. So, because he's covered in blood. So,
do you want to do this Italian name there, Chris?
Dita de Lamento?
Okay.
There we go. But it means the lament of something. So I have no idea.
It's fingers.
Oh, is it? So it's lamenting fingers is basically, or is it fingers of lament?
Yeah, I think it's that.
Fingers of lament. This is my pick to be one of the highest priced rares in the set, personally. Being able to block and reverse in the same card usually nets. This also gets you. This also nets you a momentum.
I'll look at what the other ones are. I think that the thing is the important stuff on this is Jetta only.
Well, yeah, like I understand that, but you still get for decks that I could see Death and Water decks running this a lot. Maybe even Chaos, just because they have defensive pieces that need momentum. What's the Felicia one that you have to Peaceful Coexistence? That's Sweet Nothings, stuff like that. This gets those online without even having any momentum. The multiple 2 with being Jetta, that's just insane and dumb and retarded. But I think the thing that may hurt this the most is the +2 high block, but who cares? Because all the good cards that all are high attacks. So yeah, have it for what you want. So this
I just finished talking about all the good mid attacks, and now you're just like, there's so many good high attacks.
There's so many good high attacks too. Yeah, because wasn't like Blanca's a high block too, and that kind of fell out of favor because it was more of like a Blanca
It fell out of favor because it sucked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's also true. But this, I think it's going to be up. I don't know if it's going to be like Skull Barrier price, but I didn't Spregio become pretty pricey when it first came out, just because of.
I mean, I think Spregio was just tough because it was hard to get. I mean, the same thing, and like the same thing with Skull Barrier. Skull Barrier is an ultra rare.
Yeah, that's also true.
I guess that's. The question for me is like this is the exact same symbols as Skull Barrier.
Yeah.
So maybe you split it a little bit on not Jetta, but it's kind of one of those things where depending on how much momentum you have, like I don't know how many 3-diff low damage attacks you're running. Yeah. I mean maybe if you're like
Lilith.
What's her name? Lilith.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess this is decent.
But you gotta think on average, this is probably, if you get the multiple 2 off, it's 12 damage on your opponent's turn. They're gonna have at least 1 momentum if you're Jetta.
They'll have 2, because if you block, you respond.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, so you're looking at 15 damage right there. Mm-hmm. That's not bad for a 3-diff. So, I don't know. We'll see. His next rare is one of my favorites in the set. My Beautiful Child. R remove after your opponent plays a foundation card, add it to their momentum. So that also works on blocks. So if they have like a break, so it'd be after they play.
Oh no, they'll still get every.
Will they get everything? Will they get everything on it? Because you're turn player, so you'd have response first. So you should be able to sweep it to their momentum before any card pool effects go off.
Well, the thing is after they play it, so that should happen before block triggers.
Yeah.
So I guess it'll be gone.
Yeah.
So for all those giant, so right, when you're in deadlock and they block you with that Ken Foundation, with Breaker 3, you can stuff it in their momentum before they break it.
Because the statics would trigger faster, like for Peaceful Messenger and stuff like that. So the statics would trigger first before that would even happen. So.
Why?
Wouldn't it?
That's still on block, isn't it?
No, I thought that stuff happened automatically.
I think it says after you block with this card. So that should be a step afterwards.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I guess this should remove that. I don't that's such a. I don't know. That sounds like a big
like a rules
FAQ
thing
question for Jasco.
Yeah, there you go. I like that because I also like this card because defensively you could get rid of their best foundations they play. So if you open this card turn 1, they're obviously you get to snipe their best foundation turn 1. So,
Yeah, I mean it depends. You've played Kadath. So
yeah, this card.
If you played Kadath, if you played Brother Figure.
Yeah, Brother Figure. This is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, you know that sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's really not.
Yep.
You definitely have I don't think this is a card that you want to just
throw into
just use. You're done, first foundation. Especially you also run into a little bit of danger. So like if they go first and you build this second, and then they play a foundation that's like really good, and you're like, oh, I don't want you to have that, and you pop it, and then all of a sudden they have momentum and they just blow you
They'll
up.
blow you out, yeah. Because you clear their card pool for them. Yeah. I can see this
like,
being.
There's a little bit of danger, but that's the thing. Is like it's a 2 diff. It has a +2 mid block. I mean, the other thing too is it shares 2 symbols with Hunt.
Yeah.
Which is a little frustrating. You know, it'd be nice to see like good foundation answers on
different
not
symbols?
Hunt symbols, because the rich get richer.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, this is a fine card. I like it.
Uniting the Cosmos. It looks like it's some the discard pile R is the reason why I have 4 of this in my Jetta deck for my first build. I have 4 of this in there just to try it out and see how many times it actually triggers. You know, because you know, I think you still don't feel bad building it. I think because it protects your momentum. So, but yeah, you really play this card just for the auto pass and no damage. That's the reason why you're playing it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And then also you have Guile's lovely locks all the way through the card.
So have you talked to Church at all about this card?
No, I haven't. Why?
Okay.
You have a church story?
Huh?
Nice. You have a church story, huh?
I do. So I know that early on, I think it was at the Nationals where they won their card, right? That was Napalm Man Nats, right?
Yeah, that was Napalm Man Nats, yeah.
Okay. So I remember talking to him like briefly afterwards. I don't know if it was still the weekend or if it was like after that. And for a while, because all of them had 1-checks in their decks. You know, Marco had the Tengu Dive.
Yeah.
Church was running Kim, so he had like the Kim 1-check.
Yeah.
And
no, Marco had Turbocharge. Rodney had Tengu Dive. Rodney was Rico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they both had Tengu Dive or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
So whatever. They all had 1-checks.
Yes,
I knew he had Rikuo and Tengu Man and Kim.
Yeah. No, he didn't have Tengu Man. He had Turbo Man.
That's what I meant.
Sure,
you all know what I meant.
It's okay. It's okay. You took a show. You're a little rusty. You had a show off. We get it. It's okay. We forgive you.
But yeah, so they wanted to do something for like with 1-checks.
And I remember this story. Yeah.
There was a time where their foundation was going to have a 1-check. But I think what they were going to have on it was something where it's like after you check it to play a card, like the check passes. And so that was the thing, is it would work on blocks, it would work on like attacks, building, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't work for if you're like an E, make a check or something.
Yeah.
But I just remember I was like, well, dude, like, what about for like Kozak? Wouldn't that be too good? And he's just like, dude, if my card makes Kozak like even a little bit better, does anyone really care? No. But yeah, when I saw this R, that was like the first thing that I thought of was that sort of like old with a, you know, I guess what scrapped design.
Yeah,
we'll call it.
Yeah, scrapped. Yeah,
but yeah, definitely like sort of a cool thing. I don't think there's too many ways to kind of set it up.
Yeah. Well, Kozak can do it off of water.
No, because it'll be gone.
Oh, it gets removed. Yeah, that's right. My bad. Yeah, it's discard pile. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah. He can set it up, it just won't do anything.
It just don't do anything. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Moving on to everyone's favorite mad guy.
Violent
Ken. Violent, sure you can. It's basically his ability. The combo is, at least. Yes, it looks like all of his attacks are kicks, so I guess it's not that hard to set up if you're just running his package. But
yeah, I guess.
You know, I mean, you know, why,
I think right. Other than those, like it might be a little tougher to set up.
You can play as normal Tatsumaki, I guess, if you wanted to, but that card's not very good. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's got 2 symbols with stretch kick, so that's good.
Oh yeah. Stretch kick is pretty good. Yeah.
But,
the momentum use is pretty decent. You get 1 card back, so
yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
It's pretty good.
It's okay. It's not bad. Yeah, it's all right, I guess. for a card.
I mean, discarding momentum to get anything back is like pretty all right.
Yeah, I know. There's not much else we could say about it. It's a pretty good card. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's a good card.
Yeah. No, this is good.
Yeah. Good. Go on to the next one.
On Lord Raptor's Clutches, so the rare 3/4 no block with a Desperation 4, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. But does have reversal? Does have reversal cancel in it? So, and he has reversal cancel in it, and then if E flip, you can steal a momentum from your opponent. In a way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't see this card seeing a ton of play.
I don't either. I really don't.
I mean, on Void and Fire, you have the Takeda Foundation that gets you momentum as well.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get momentum, like there's better choices.
Isn't that a 3/5 with a block, anyways?
Yep.
Yeah. So why? I don't know why. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean the reversal cancels, like that's not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like there are other options. I haven't dug real deep into these symbols,
but you could play out of your league off of Fire, so
you can.
You know,
it's just kind of one of those things where I don't know. I guess we'll see how much of a sort of a problem reversals are going forward. I still think that they're pretty dangerous. They can get you killed like in a hurry. So
yeah, I agree. Unless you're Akuma, then you just murder people, so that doesn't really matter. I think Akuma may be the only one who can possibly reversal safely right now, just because of his check hacks. You know, and Vega probably could too, but.
I mean, you can still do it. It's just, it's just dangerous, basically. I mean, anything that's like taking blocks out of your hand and junking up your card pool, like it has to be real worth it.
For sure.
Because like you never know when you're just going to eat another missile launcher. So.
Yep. A missile launcher got a heck of a lot more dangerous because Morgan can put like 6 speed on that bitch, and she can just discard for damage. Yeah. Moving on to Lilith stuff.
Speaking of reversals, right?
Yeah, Betrayal. I played Lilith in a draft this weekend. She is a hell of a lot of fun, and I can see the bottom E being relevant all the time because there's always going to be an attack you're going to want to seal. Especially in draft, I was sealing, what's that one? Izuma Kakato Wari, the Ken Stun 2 attack. Those people are throwing that like crazy. The false C attack, I was always just, no, you don't get anything. You don't get nothing. So she's usually going to be, and her ability is playable while committed, so it doesn't really matter. There's going to be times where she's going to want to seal her own attack just to get +3 like on the end for like a kill string hit. Like I did that in draft. I threw a Swallow Your Soul, sealed it, and then threw another Swallow Your Soul on +3 to my check, and it was like the 7th card in my card pool. So I was able just to pass all that stuff. So so she will be committed. Either you're drawing 2 on your opponent's turn, which stun on a reversal is always great, so I'm never going to say no to that, ever. And then she gives damage and speed to the next attack you play for the most part. So say you have 2 reversals in hand somehow and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's a good card. It's not. It's super fast, and it will put at least if you hit Lilith 5+, it's at least a 7 mid for 5. And
yeah, I mean Lilith likes this for sure.
Oh yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much. It's sort of another one of those cards. Like I don't know how much. Other people play it, but yeah, it's decent.
Because bang is a thing, and so is stop. But
I mean, they are, but it's kind of just one of those things where
it's basically the owner of this card will most likely always be playing Lilith with it because there's no real reliable way to always say, hey, my guy's always going to be committed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like it's cool to use this, like especially if you have like something that's like once per turn. I guess on water, you can use it with Sub-Zero's Foundation.
Oh yeah.
So that you can do whatever you want to do. Oh, yeah. Seal your character, get a foundation back, and then draw 2 more cards.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And that's cool.
That's not bad.
But it's just one of those things. I guess Sub-Zero can run it. It is a stun attack.
Oh, it gives him a stun reversal. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what printed 3 damage stuff he's running, but
not much. But it's a 5. It's a
What's
5.
Icy Slide? What's the base damage on
3.
Icy Slide?
Oh, it's 1. It's 1 on Icy Slide. Yeah.
Terrible.
Or let me look. It may be 3. I'm not sure.
It's probably a 1/1.
I think so too. I want to double check just for posterity's sake. So I'll double check. Yeah, but I actually think Sub-Zero would run 1, maybe a couple copies, just because it's a 5 mid-5. If your opponent blocks, they discard a card from their hand, or they're eating 5 damage, and if you're able to seal your guy.
I mean, it's definitely I mean, it's an option. Like, it is fast, so
it's a 1/1.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a 1/1. Moving on to Castaway and Forgotten. It's basically Lilith on a stick, in a way.
Yep.
And then...
this flip is pretty good. I guess what? Water? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the symbols.
Yeah.
I guess the big thing is water still has whatever the Zoe card is. Formidable Task.
Formidable Task, yeah.
And I've played that a lot,
yeah.
And it does a lot of work.
Yes, it does.
So
I wish I had that in my deck this past weekend because Coffee Samba wrecked me in the game. So, yep.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really good against... if you're in Deadlock, it's really good against Missile Launcher, because if they play the Deadlock E, they're done. They have to stun you first.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that much against Jet, because Jet's gonna R and then stun you, and you'll just go, all right.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm dying anyways. Yeah.
But against anybody else, and it's really, really good against Coffee Samba, because you can just wait until they play the E that, gives it multiple and stun, and you can just seal it.
Yeah.
It's really good against Tech Sphere, but whatever. Yeah. We're not talking about that card. We're talking about this card.
Yeah.
But it's just sealing an attack when they play it is really good.
It's huge. Yeah, it's very good. Then after an attack with a printed 3, seal it. If it's your attack, draw a card. So it's basically you get to draw a card after your attack hits. Sure. Right. Destroy.
No, it's after damage 3
it's
or
played.
less is played.
My bad, I read that wrong. My fault. Yeah, so...
it's... Yeah, I mean, I guess this is just the other ability for free.
Yeah.
If it's something cheap. So.
Yeah. It looks like they just doubled up. They split Lilith's bottom R into 2 effects on a card. So other people can play it. That's basically what it looks like. So.
I don't think this gets a ton of play in characters that don't have Earth.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, this is good. I guess so that'll be the thing, is how many of these do you run? Because it is a unique, it is a non-block.
Yep.
Do you think you run 2? Do you think you run 3?
I'd probably run 2, maybe side 1. Or 1 and side 1. I don't know. Just depends on how much momentum you're going to generate.
I think it depends on your symbol, and it depends on your other options, but I could possibly see this as like a 2 or more.
Yeah.
So...
Sweet
chainsaw music.
Yeah. That card is really good. Depending on how much
stuff, flash, remove X momentum, and then you get X flash stacks from discard out of your hand.
Yeah. Free breaker 2s, kids.
I mean, I guess the important part here is you can do it after you block with it. Basically get a bunch of attacks for the next, your next turn.
Did not think of that.
Yeah.
Because then you're breaker 2ing your opponent too, and then showing them your hand of death.
Well, no, because this is after the end phase begins.
Okay, after the end phase.
So basically, this will happen right as you go to clear it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
you still show them their hand of death, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
So it's good. I mean, you have to have a decent amount of momentum. It's just. If you have 1 or 2 momentum, I guess it's all right.
Yeah.
Especially for a flash deck, you don't have that many ways to use momentum offensively.
True.
So it's fine. Honestly, I don't think this is a 4X. I think this is probably a 2. But it's definitely good in a Raptor deck.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Maybe a Miska or something if you're trying that out.
I'd rather just play Raptor.
Just because of killed by a shaman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I think people will be trying Miska, and we'll see how that goes.
True. Yep. So Showtime. This card is stupid. This card is stupid. It's really dumb. I was talking with Jacob Johnson this weekend about it. He's like, this card is dumb.
So we were talking about with Castaway and Forgotten or whatever, and do you run? You probably run 3 of this.
Yeah, oh definitely. You want to see
It's
this.
a 2/4 no block, and you don't care.
You don't care. Yep. It is what was a non-keyword ability. It is securing his destiny on a stick. It's just like sweet.
Yep.
And then if you happen to remove, let's just say, a leg shredder, and you get to ready something. Oh, whatever, I guess. And then it has a once per turn after you play an attack. It gets +3 damage. And then if they're in deadlock, it gets 3 speed as well, I guess. So it's just fuck y'all. That's all this card is. It's just I'm gonna kill you and stop your shit.
I mean, this card is so good that I could see other people just running, basically just seeing if there's a flash attack on the symbols that they can run a few copies of just to turn it on.
Yeah.
And you probably just run it as a one of, and if you're not a dedicated flash lineup, because the R is still fine.
Yeah, a Zuna drop can still be played in multiple people. It's just it's a throw that just clears momentum if it does less than
honestly,
people, so,
I think there's a decent chance that Leg Shredder gets run in Jet. Basically anybody that can
remove attacks,
remove it when they want to, that has a place.
Yeah.
And
I get
again, if you're running 4 to 6 copies of flash attacks and you have and you're on one of these symbols, just put this in your deck.
Yeah.
Definitely. The R is so good. Well, both, and then the other one, it's usable on anything.
Yes.
And it's just a free 3 damage every turn. Sure.
Yeah, why not? It's just why not? It's one of the
This card's great.
Yeah, card is fantastic.
What were you saying? You thought was the best one in the best rare?
Okay. I was gonna say.
Actually, I lied. We're not there yet.
Yeah. We're not.
This is up there though.
Yeah, it's up there though. So next would be Draining Vector, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know what to really think about this card because she doesn't generate her own momentum, so she's gonna have to have an outside way to get the momentum to burn your opponent for 3 if the speed's greater than printed. Because of course it will be, because it's unless you check a 3 block on a 3 check, and why are you playing that anyways? Because you're bad. Don't do that. In her, you always want to try to guarantee at least 2. Always guarantee at least 1, but definitely 2. So 2 is usually when I've built her. It's 2. 2 is that.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be running some non-blocks, Chris.
In my current build, I have 6, and that's pretty much it. Is 6. And
what symbol are you on?
Life, and 3 of them are revoke. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I guess the deadlock's okay, but I don't know. It's I'm not really impressed with this card, and I guess it's just me. It is a tech, so it can be gateway shuffled for 11 damage, which is kind of nice, I guess, on a throw. But I don't know. I'm more hyped about her ultra rare than I am about this card. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think anything that sort of ends up being good about this card is probably going to come down to its keywords.
Oh, I guess
you said, tech, charge.
Sheepman can put 2 and 2 on it. Sheepman can put 2 and 2 on it.
He can.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something too. She has the other, the Thundering Impact. That's also a throw slam.
Yeah.
So you could do something if you're still trying to run Talbane in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
This is a viable thing to throw first.
Sure.
4 mid for 7.
Yeah.
It'll deal damage unless they throw block it, draw some cards, whatever.
Sure.
And I mean, it's a throw. It has a block.
Yeah.
I guess the question is if you're a throw deck, don't you just want to run Death Valley Faceplant? Don't you just want to run Choke Throw?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is all right, but
it's a throw.
Yeah.
That's basically my thoughts on it. It's a throw. Could have had another version of Shadow Blade, but no, we got this, so whatever. But Confronting Jeddah.
Yep.
It's a decent card. It's very good. In draft, it's decent because I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go with draft because I even have this in my Chun-Li deck because she's in the good Chun-Li version I have because she kind of lacks on damage because she can put so much speed on stuff. But I probably am gonna play. I think it's like a 1x in my Morrigan deck just because it's there.
Really, 1.
Yeah, currently.
Okay.
I can always go more. I can always add more.
It's a +2 high block.
Yeah, I know. But she has plenty of +2 high blocks. And I have plenty of +2 high blocks. So it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Yeah,
this is the card I was looking at when I was like, well, let's slow down on Showtime being the best rare. The theory crafting that I see going on around this card is silly.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to need a way to obviously like protect stats from like resets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, talking about good Cassie running like Glow Kick.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
I played Glow Kick and made it like 17 plus speed. So, do you want just E? Your attack gets +13 damage for free.
That sounds pretty good.
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we didn't see it before like like the Ultra Rare show and stuff, but the card, like the back page card Flip Cat, which is evil. I mean that has like EX3 and like gets a bunch of like damage from itself having stuff, and then you can just EX all your momentum. Like this card basically makes every EX actually just +X+X. It basically makes every EX also powerful.
Ooh, you're right.
I mean, this is just something like Plant Man who like pumps speed on stuff.
Ooh, that's nice.
You know, it is only once per turn.
Yeah,
but okay.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you're hitting someone.
I mean, that's the thing. Some of the stuff with what's her name with Cassie is talking about basically like using this and then somehow like finding a way to either like stack another one
and do it again,
like pull one out of your pool or whatever. Like just using it like twice. What was the other one? Like Takeda.
Oh,
with like the Shin Ryukan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play that, you can give it like +3 speed from the combo, and like stack something. Like so, how about for Morgan? You give it +3 speed, you stack something that's going to give it like 5 or 6 speed, and then give it more, and you basically just and then you just use this and you just gave it like +8/+8 or something.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Okay, so it's gonna have to go up a couple more copies then. Yeah.
Like this card is really good.
I haven't been paying attention to the Discord lately, so is that where it's all being talked about? Because
I know Brett Hillman is really, really high on this card.
Okay. Yep. So. Cool.
I mean, anytime you see like uncapped damage pump,
it's true. That's true.
You gotta look again.
Yeah. It's also uncapped damage redux too, so you could drop something to below 0, which is nice. Yep.
And I hear there's a few speed characters in this set.
Nah, not
actually. The other thing too is its difference. So even if your speed is like zeroed out, like you can still pump damage.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can. That's sick. Ooh. So what happens if they dust in the wind it and it goes negative? Do you get?
So if you give something like a huge speed pump and they dust it and it goes like double and like it goes negative, like you can still pump the damage. It'll just be like negative whatever speed.
So it would just be the difference between 0 printed and the negative, then, right?
Yep.
Damn, that can get huge. Okay, I take that back about Drain Vector, because if you're able to fucking put like 20 speed on that thing or whatever, and that's just okay. I take it back. Take it back. Okay, so Fused with Lilith. It's basically like a mutual card from the Sub-Zero support, where mutual follower or whatever, acceptance or whatever, where it's only one more enhance can be played.
Yeah.
Right. So after this, instead of it saying your opponent gets one more enhance, you get no more enhances. It just goes straight to block. So,
what's her name had this, right? Brilliant Tactician.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't a speed thing. It was just E. It was E remove, I think. I believe. It was just.
It was also like a 2/4 no block. So.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty good, and especially for Morgan because she can pump speed with her ability if she wants. This is a lot like the Chun-Li Starter Foundation. The 3/4 where it's like if the speed or damage is greater than 6, like set the damage to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of like big base attacks now, and I guess you can play around this obviously if your attack is like less than 6 speed. Because you can just do whatever you want beforehand, or if you're gonna pump the speed, you just kind of like do it last.
Yeah.
But anything that has like really high base speed, or if you're playing a character that can pump the speed of like any attack for like Morgan, I'm sure there's others. This is like real good to have out. Yeah, like we were talking about like the stuff that seals attacks previously, and it'll still be like pretty quick. So like it may not be you may not like really want to block it, but if you can somehow like if the speed gets high before the damage is high, or if you have some way to otherwise like mitigate the damage, just ending an enhanced step is like pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yep. Especially like even against like what missile launchers usually, if it's not a speed character, they usually dump their enhance on the speed anyways, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yes, but I think that they'll that's sort of an example of something where they'll probably just do everything and then save the speed enhance for last.
Yeah, for last. Yeah, of course.
But
yep.
Yeah.
To the last rare of the set, Demon Realm Awakening. Pretty good. It fishes itself out. It's okay.
Yeah, I feel bad for what's it called? What's the BB Hood action?
Oh yeah, Jealousy and
Fake.
Yeah. Yep. well, Jealousy and Fake is still okay because if it's double printed damage and it's like an off zone block, it doesn't do any damage and you burn. So this is only you get the 0 damage if it's a throw attack.
I just mean for like the E.
Oh, the E, yeah, the E's pretty good. Yeah.
No, I mean the E on Jealousy and Fake.
Oh, the E. Oh, you mean the...
Which is like commit a foundation, shuffle this back into your deck, and draw a card.
And then you redraw
and this is just like, just give it plus or minus damage, and draw a card, and maybe get another copy of this too. Hey.
And then if you block with it, you also get to draw a card. Which is...
I mean, the important part, I guess, means that Venomous can just cancel this entire card, which is good.
Yeah.
Good. Deserves it.
And it shares 2 prepared to fight symbols, so it's obviously going to fight for prepared to fight slots. And then it shares a symbol of Templar, so I don't know if you play this over that, maybe? I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I think this is pretty good. This has a lot of versatility.
Sure.
I mean, like, offensively, this is miles better than either of those cards.
Yeah.
So I think it'll just kind of depend on, if you're running someone like a Donovan, if you're running something like a Mega Man, 2, or somebody like that, or even like if you're on all, if you're running like Cassie or something, like she's got a bunch of things that have a ton of keywords. I could definitely see running this.
Sure.
And I guess, it is sort of like another like deadlock threat for some symbols that don't have a ton of deadlock.
True.
We talked about that for Guile. So just if if your opponent has like 2 or 3 of these in their discard pile, and you're considering going to deadlock, and they just have like a bunch of right. It's just like
don't do it.
Sure, I'll just do that and then dump all these on something for like 1 billion damage.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, sure. Draw a bunch of cards. Why not?
This is another one of those rares. I think it may get kind of pricey after a while, just because it's going to be kind of, if you don't have prepared to fights, you'd play this, I guess. Instead.
I mean, I guess it's good this is a rare.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not. I'm very glad it's not an ultra rare. I don't feel bad opening extra copies of this card.
This is kind of a weird card where I think on the one hand, like, if you can, you know, if it's something that fits well into your deck, which is basically like if that E is like as an offensive pump is good, you probably want it at 4.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, then maybe it's something that you just kind of run as like a sideboard card for like throw hate.
Sure. Because Power Struggles is leaving soon, so that shares 2 of the symbols on Power Struggles.
Yeah, so Power Struggles will be gone after the next set.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely expect to see this played a decent amount.
I do too. And I think that's it. That's it. I guess we can go over the box toppers for the Ultra Rare show. I guess we can do that.
Oh, with the characters?
Yeah, we never did Donovan and Elena, so we can do that. It gives us something else to do. So I guess looking forward, next couple shows we're gonna have Tamara Cardwell, the winner of the Collinsville PTC from this past weekend, as of recording. We're gonna talk about his that crazy wacky Fey deck that he played. That he asked me before our round 2. He's like, "You got prepared to fight in that deck?" And I'm like, "No, I was gonna side them, and I forgot to bring them with me." So
just giving away information.
Oh yeah, but it didn't matter. But I destroyed him game 1 though. Like I killed him on turn 2, and then I had a chance in game 2 to kill him, and I just didn't take the chance. And I think I would have beat him if I would have checked running. I would have checked a 4, commit out, and then I would have killed him with a Templar's Justice as my 3rd attack, because I went Deep Freeze, swept, I stunned him, Frost Hammer. And I checked a 4 on the Frost Hammer. Would have to commit my last Foundation. I built like shit that game, so I would have had to commit out and then play and then check a 5 and then instead I played safe.
Did you check a 5?
I would have, yeah. I would have checked a 5 and killed him, yeah. Yep. Because I didn't play the Frost Hammer because I was like, if I check a 4, I got to commit out, and I played safe and it ended up costing me the game. So. Yeah, I played 2 Foundations, and I checked 4 and 5, and I was like, fucking A. And
so you want to attack? You started attacking with 2 Foundations? Interesting.
Well, that I had mulliganed my opening hand and drew more attacks, so I couldn't really.
This was what, game 3?
This was game 2.
Oh, you should have just gone for it. You won game 1.
Yeah, exactly. I know, and that was my. I know. And I said that, and I was like, I should just go for it. JT was sitting right next to me, and I go, I should have went for it. I'm probably going to die. And yeah, I died. And yep. No ham horn from JT though. No though. Nah, he was very nice about it. Yeah. Yep.
I would not have been.
Oh, I didn't expect you to be. I would never.
I'm not being very nice about it right now.
No, I don't, whatever. I got gate kept by my own friend who hadn't played in a year. Okay, so whatever. So, but anywho, we'll talk about that, and then we're gonna do an ultra rare show. We're gonna go over through all the ultra rares that haven't been.
Well, I guess, like, what's your overall thoughts on the rares?
On the rares? Oh, I think they're good. I think there's very few character locked ones, I should say. Like Lilith one. Like,
I don't know if I would.
I would say I wouldn't call them like character locked, but they're better in the said character than they are outside. So that's what I mean by character locked. Like betrayal, that's something like you won't see that very much outside of Lilith. A couple, let's see what, like Showtime's horrible.
I mean, like Akuma. I don't think people other than Akuma are running Akuma.
Yeah, I honestly don't think so either. I really don't. I think Akuma stuff is pretty much. You may get some crazy person trying to use it in other characters, but I think like in the builds you'll see in top 8s and top 16s, you will rarely see that outside of Akuma, I think. But yeah.
I mean, I really think there's probably only about like 2 to 4 cards that are rares that are just kind of like, ugh.
Like Lord Raptor's Clutches. That's a card. Yeah.
That one's not great. Like, so it's mostly some of the Foundations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially like the high difficulty ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately like they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. So
some of them are really good.
Yeah, some of them are very good. Some of them are very deserving of a 2/4 non-block and only once per turn abilities. That also on a unique. So
yeah, I think a lot of them are better than most of the ultra rares. I think the ultra rares for this set are a little, barring like the back page stuff. I think a lot of the back page stuff is very usable.
Yeah,
but this is like not Street Fighter bad, but
they're kind of generic,
kind of like Street Fighter like Mimi in that. I think a lot of the ultra rares are cards that like, you know, maybe you run in like the character that it's for, and maybe you kind of build like a deck for it, but ultimately like they aren't necessary.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I think they're just kind of generic. Like they're not. I mean, they're playable in a lot of characters and not just them, in my opinion.
I guess we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we're gonna try. We'll cover over. We'll glance over the ultra rares that were kind of shared already, but we'll really kind of concentrate on the back page stuff because that wasn't talked about in any other shows or spoiled or anything like that. So, anything else to close out the episode?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. We need your comments if you.
Oh, I guess. You had some news, right, about gonna have like a special guest coming up sometime?
Oh yeah, so near future. This is leading right into my next plug. Follow us we're on Patreon, Rockford CCG. Our first Patreon donor, Luke Butler, will be on the Guile treatment. I have to get a hold of him. We will be talking about what he wants to talk about. We're breaking the company motto, and we're going to talk about what someone wants to talk about.
Well, he's on the show, so like, doesn't that work?
Yeah,
that's what he wants to talk about.
Yeah, this time, I guess so. So maybe we'll talk about Eligor for like 5 hours, maybe. No.
All right.
But we'll talk about something he wants to talk about for sure. So once I get a hold of him, we'll figure out logistics and all that fun stuff. So other than that, look forward to a few new episodes next week, and that's pretty much it. All right, everyone. Have a good night. See you later.